Hello, Hoplo-maniacs. Logan Giannini here. It has been a while since you have seen me in front of the camera, but if anything was going to get me out from behind my desk, it was going to be this, a shiny new copy of Hoplomachus Victorum, finally here in the office for me to share with you. You may have seen a little bit of a preview that Gilly did from Gen Con, but now that we're here in the office with better lights, better camera, we're going to give you a little bit more in-depth of a look. So come along with me and let's unbox Hoplomachus Victorum. So you've got a good look at the box here. We're just going to go ahead and open this right up. Oh, it is so beautiful, so beautiful. So underneath the box, we have just some gorgeous printing that, you probably won't be staring at too often, but it is just absolutely a beautiful little look at the world that you're going to be traversing through the course of this game. So inside we've got a few things. So first of all, we've got just a little skills reference sheet. You'll get very familiar with that as you play. We have our beautiful how to play manual, which is just absolutely gorgeous. I have had the chance to read through it a few times and it turned out really well. Some thicker cover material from Burn Cycle, which I know Gilly also mentioned. So that's a beautiful piece. One of my favorites, we have the Scion epilogues. So as you play the game, you have a lot of different heroes, a lot of different Scions you can fight, and for each different ending, no matter which hero you use and which Scion you beat, there is a little epilogue that our writer, Ryan Howard, wrote out for you. Now, I'm not good at math, so I'm just going to say there's a lot of heroes, a lot of Scions, and if you multiply them, that's a whole lot. So I'm pretty sure that's mathematically sound right there. So your Scion epilogue book is awesome. We have a little product catalog of all the other exciting things that we have made and some exciting things that are coming in the future. Then, speaking of Scions, we've got this happy customer here, so we've got Pluto. So let's go ahead, let's open this up and see what all is in here. So, don't mind me. There's going to be a couple of different items. So, we have all of our Scion sheets. And as I mentioned, there are a few of them. So, just to show off a couple, we've got Pluto, we've got Kamazotes, and Itzam Kab-Ain. And I may or may not be butchering the pronunciations. I've spent the last 2 years trying to get them right, but I'm not quite sure if I'm there yet. And there are going to be other Scions for you to discover, but I don't want to spoil all of the surprises, just to kind of whet your appetite. So we're not going to look at any more of those right now, but we will take a look at some of our arena reference sheets. We have a few of these. They're all double-sided, and basically these are sets of rules that are going to come with you as you travel across the ancient land, bringing unique flavor and unique rules to all the different arenas you visit. And speaking of those arenas, let's just get right into it with these. So we have four, count it, four double-sided arena mats, all neoprene, all edge stitch, just absolutely beautiful. And these are the arenas that you are going to fight in as you travel across the ancient world. So again, not going to show you everything, but there's going to be a lot to discover as you receive your copy and start digging into it. We've got our little hero tracker pad. This is basically how you're going to upgrade your hero as they go from just a nobody to the biggest, baddest hero in all the land. You're going to keep track of your squad as that grows, your tactics. This little pad is going to do a lot for you. Got a little dice bag. And now we're into the best part. So if you haven't seen it already, you are in for a treat. But this right here is perhaps the craziest component we have ever made. So hopefully you can get a good look at that here. This is our stadium seating piece. So in this, as you put the game together, you're going to start populating your gladiators, your events, everything that is going to guide your game is going to live in this, and much of it is going to stay in there as you go from game to game and put this away and bring it back out. First of all, let's dig into one of the really cool new components that we introduced for the new Hoplomachus games, and that is the thick chips. So all of the elite units in this game, which is to say all of your heroes and all of the Scions that you're going to face, are twice as thick and slightly heavier than a normal CTG weighted chip, which just gives them a little added gravitas on the playing field, a little added presence. Makes them seem a little extra special, which they are. These are your heroes. These are the rival heroes that you fight as you travel, or the giant villainous Scions. And at the start of the game, you actually end up selecting a few of these that go into your stadium seating piece. Also in this compartment, we have our dice. Now, obviously, we are known for lots of different wonderful kinds of dice, and if you're a fan of the old Hoplo line, you probably remember the iconic H's. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. The H's are out, and instead, we have some classic-looking little sword icons. And hopefully you can get a good look at these. They're absolutely beautiful. The marbled finish is just stunning. The colors turned out great. And, we do offer, obviously, some premium alloy dice, but these are gorgeous in and of their own right. So I can't wait for you to get a closer look at these. They turned out phenomenally. So obviously, lots and lots of chips to go through. I'm not going to make you look at everything because, again, I want you to discover some of the fun stuff on your own. But let's pull out a few units and have a look because the art in this game is just next level gorgeous. And I've said that a lot up to this point, and I'm probably going to keep saying it because this game is just beautiful. Our artists, Anthony Letourneau and Federico, just knocked it out of the park. So let's dig in here and let's just look at some Amazon chips. We have a Peltist here, which is a ranged unit that uses a long spear, throws it at their opponents. We have a Velis, which is similar. You'll notice the Amazons are kind of all about moving around, using their range to kill their enemies from afar. As you dig into the game, you will start to discover that the different regions' units kind of have different flavors and different styles to them. So we'll go ahead, we'll set those off. We've got a bunch of health chips. We don't need to dig into those right now. And then a few more special things to look at. So this tiny, adorable little deck here is your prowess deck, which I am just throwing all over the place. And your prowesses are basically your hero upgrades. And if you look on the back, you'll usually see some hero artwork. There are all the different heroes represented in different little mini decks that they start with at the beginning of the game, as well as some special prowesses that you can earn by completing opportunities across your journey. So these are basically mini upgrades that you earn as you go to kind of help your journey and make your hero more and more special of a unit, make them do things that no other hero can do. And the beauty is there are 10 of these per hero, not to mention all the special ones, and you're very unlikely to get all of those. So each subsequent game you play of Victorum, you will be speccing out your hero in completely different ways. Even if you end up playing a hero that you happen to like over and over again, each game is going to give you a unique experience in many different ways, and the prowesses are just one of those ways. So over here in these compartments, we have our three little decks, and I'm not going to break these open right now, but basically we have the sporting deck, which is all your sport events, King of the Hill, Capture the Flag, Spar, basically your challenges of skill as you travel across the world. We have our opportunities, which I touched on a moment ago. These, basically you can think of these as side quests. They're gonna let you earn special bonuses by going a little bit out of your way to achieve certain scenarios, like having your hero kill 3 units in a single combat, or losing a certain unit while you're in a certain region, all different kinds of side quests which earn you really powerful bonuses. And then, the meat and potatoes, the bloodshed deck. And the bloodshed deck is exactly what you think it is from the name. These are to-the-death combats. Your sole goal is to defeat all the rival units, but it has the added penalty compared to sport events where when you lose a unit from your camp, that unit is gone forever. It is dead. It's not coming back to your camp at the end of the combat. So you want to watch out for all of those. Now, in here, we have a few more dice. So just the arena dice, and these are used for King of the Hill, these are used for tracking your beasts, all different things in the game. When it calls for a d6, you have these at your disposal. And then this exciting little piece, this is your camp tracker. So it is a little brass token with a V for Victorum on it, or if you flip it upside down, a nice little house for your hero to live in. And this is what you're going to use on the large overland map to track your progress as your party travels across the world. So very, very cool little piece that we added through stretch goals during the campaign. So thank you for that. And then, of course, the pièce de résistance, we have your big overland map, which I haven't opened yet, so this is a little bit exciting. This is what you're going to play the entire game on. So you have this very large, very gorgeous mat, and it has a couple of different areas. You'll notice kind of a big open spot right in the middle. That open spot is where your arenas are going to go. Wherever you are, you always have a local arena, and that's going to sit right here. So the combats that you play, the sports that you play, always occur on that arena. So this is never actually empty like this during the game. you're going to have some stuff there. Down at the bottom, we have our world map. So the world map is where you take your brass tracker and you travel. You've got little connecting lines telling you where you can go or where you can't go. And it's going to tell you whether you're going to take a bloodshed event, whether you're going to take an opportunity or a sport. And basically, you're traveling across these lines, leveling up, getting stronger, and trying to get to these very special locations. You'll see some unique buildings, unique architecture here, where you're going to fight rival heroes, rival Primuses who are trying to also get strong and fight Pluto. And then you've got some other areas that I'll leave you to discover later, but basically a spot for your troops, a spot for the enemy troops, some spot for other elements that are used in the game. So this is what ties it all together. You're going to have many, many components in front of you, and once you have the game set up, this is when it's going to bring it all together and smack you in the face with how gorgeous it is. So this in front of you is the fully populated stadium seating, and you'll notice it's doing a handful of things for your game as you go. So first of all, the 8 slots on the left and the right are all of your region units. So these are the local gladiators to each different region as you travel across the world. And as you go, they're going to come out and they're going to fight you, and then they're going to vanish into the bag to show up later. So as you go, this is going to slowly get smaller and smaller as they come out to do battle. Up front are some of your attack dice, not all of them, so you can keep a handful up here and a handful in use. It's basically just a little overflow storage for whatever you're not using at a given time. Here, and here are the Primuses you populate at the start of the game. So that is a random draw telling you which 3 rival heroes you have to defeat before you get to Vesuvius and face whichever Scion, or in some cases Pluto himself, you have chosen to do battle with in this particular campaign. Lastly, up top, we have our 3 decks. We have our sports, our opportunities, and our bloodsheds. These will obviously come out and go back in the box when you pack up, but otherwise you can just throw the lid on and just gently set it aside. It'll keep cats, children, friends, enemies, whomever from getting into it while you're in between games. So and this is a snapshot of basically a game in its very early stages. So we've set up, we've moved around just a little bit. You'll see down here we've picked up an opportunity, so we have a little bit of a goal, something we can work towards, and then we're sliding down here to a bloodshed event, so we can take a bloodshed card out of here, set it down in the active event slot here, and this is kind of what the board is going to look like most of the time. You'll notice that there's a lot laid out in front of you, all very focused on you as the solo player. As a solo-only experience, we wanted to make sure that it was as oriented towards you and the best user interface we could possibly give you. So everything is facing you and everything has been structured and designed with the solo player in mind. So the few different areas we've got going on, over here is your hero camp. So you'll see we've got Bingxing, a few of her soldiers, a few of her tactics sitting here, which you can use in battle for special effects. Over on the side, a few prowess cards that, depending on the difficulty setting, you may or may not begin the game with a few, and then of course as you go you can earn more. We've got our health chips up here. We've got our unearned prowess cards, so anytime you would earn one, you can pick these up, look through, and pick which one you want. Our little map down here telling us where we're at and allowing you to look at where you want to go. So you can always refer up to the top and the Primuses you're hunting and try to chart out a math and optimize your journey as you go. In the middle, because we're in Kunlun, we have the Kunlun Arena. However, as soon as we leave the Kunlun Arena, so we're going to slide across the border down here into the Amazon Arena, you're going to change mats. So I might swap this out, or in this case, it happens to be on the back. So we would set up the Amazon Arena, and this one does in fact use some of these arena chips. So I'm just going to grab a few. In this case, and the arena setup card would tell you this, we have just some columns. So these columns are going to be sliding back and forth, just knocking units out of the way and causing mayhem as you play. So as long as you're playing in this arena, you'll be using these. As soon as you travel out of the region, you can clean these back up again, switch arenas, and grab any arena chips you may need. Then, when you wrap up your current act, let's say you defeated Virago here, congratulations, well done, and you're ready to pack it in and come back to it another night, you can take your cards out. These will go back to the box. You're going to put your camp chips in a certain set of a tray, and you can tuck your remaining bosses in there as well. And lastly, you're just going to take this, plop it here, so none of this can get dislodged, and it's nice and saved, and you're ready to come back to it either tomorrow night or in 15 minutes when you realize you really want to get going on Act 2. Who needs sleep? So that has been our unboxing for Hoplomachus Victorum. I hope it got you excited. I hope it showed you how breathtaking this game is going to be. And I hope I didn't spoil too much. There's a lot left in here for you to discover. So if you already backed this when it was on Kickstarter, then now is the time to get excited. And if you didn't, there's good news. It is available for pre-order right now on our website. And also available are a few add-on items. There are some alloy dice that are absolutely stunning. There is a dice tower. There's a little neoprene tracker pad. And we will have some video coverage of all the add-ons down the road. But for now, this has been Hoplomachus Victorum. Thank you for watching.